When we stop reading, we lose the sense and the value and the because usually when we're looking for solutions, we have dimensions that we move through. Those are 3 books, 2 and 3. So we got 3 books. When we stop reading, we lose the sense, the value, and the joy of our conversations. Welcome back to Solutions to a Problem. I've made a lot of great decisions that I'm proud of in my life. I like a lot of things about myself, but if it comes to something that it's almost inherited maybe from my father, I would say is reading. Even from my grandfather, because he was a scholar as well. So I think it's just going through our family. My grandfather used to be that, intellectual. My father is someone that reads a lot. I grew up seeing my father reads all the time and loves something called knowledge, and he always feels better when he knows something new. And then as I came of age and I started to grow up, I didn't know really why I was in love with reading, and after some thoughts, I would say, I come to realize it's something that maybe passed by my father. So I want to thank him on behalf of everything. But reading is not only about books, it's not only about knowledge, it's not only about I'm reading this because I want to be more intellectual, or I want to know more than you do, or I want to know more than better. But I would say reading is one of the reasons why we're still alive. As people, the more we know, the better decisions we make. And as I always use a motto in this podcast, be better and do better when you know better, I totally believe reading is very, very important. And we always have to be reading. Reading will give you the space to think. Whatever you're going through, it could have happened for, somebody 1,000 years ago. Reading will give you the space to think, to analyze, and more importantly, to have the mentality that creates the possibility of finding the solution. I've met a lot of great people who, when they are stuck, they just think, that's it, this is their destiny, there is nothing need to be done. And yet they are free out there, they have their own jobs, they got a lot of good things going on in their lives, but because of a problem and the mentality that says, you know what, there is no solution for this. If you don't know what to do in life, if you're stuck, there is a solution somewhere out there. Reading is one of the things that makes you think the solution is available. I'm not saying reading a book will solve your problems, but creating the mentality and the momentum of, you know what, I'm stuck here, but what should I do? At least to have the space to ask, what should I do? Or how can I solve it? Or who I should talk to? The mentality itself, it's a valuable asset to have. This mentality of being able to ask yourself, what should I do? Or who I should talk to? Or what is the solution? I think even in relationships, having this mentality will help both parties to at least to evaluate the possibility of, maybe there is something we need to be doing. Maybe there is someone we need to be talking to. Because most people think when they're stuck, that's it. There is no solution. There is nothing can be done. Or most of the time we feel frustrated when we try 1 time, 2 times, and we couldn't get to where we want. And sometimes we are surrounded with people who have this mentality. The mentality of saying, you know what you are in is just because you are a bad person. There is nothing we can do about it. One of the things that I know for sure that I'm doing for the past 25 years at least, whenever I got an issue, whenever I'm confused, whenever I'm tired, whenever I feel so down, whenever I feel angry, whenever I'm not in my, best version, I go back to books. I go to my library. Why? How? I don't know, but it always brings me back to where I can say I find balance. Those three books, Steven Pinker, How the Mind Works, Ego is the Enemy, and the reason that I'm sharing this one, not only because the book is good, but because it's a gift from a good friend of mine. For me, I think, the best gift a person can give somebody, in my opinion, is a book. And then I have Quiet. Quiet, this is one of the books that you need, especially now, because now we are part of so much. We are engaged with what is important and what is not. So going back to reading, I always go back to my library. So my library has been a good friend, has been a place where truly I can come to and absolutely feel there is somebody that I can hear that will give me another perspective or take me to another dimension, so help me see what I couldn't see before. Because usually when we're looking for solutions, we have dimensions that we move through. If the dimensions that we are moving through are tight, or even they are like limited to one or two, it's different than when you have 4 to 5 to 7 dimensions where you can think from this side to that side, from this point of view to that, from this culture through this, from that background to this. So whatever it is that you want to achieve or you want to build, it's always good to have as much dimensions here in terms of the space of thinking as you can, because that will help you figure out, a better solution, and it will help you figure out what you can do. However, this is what I got for you for today with Problem and a Solution. And you are here at MA's radio station where life, knowledge, and joy come together. I appreciate your presence. I want you to do me a good favor, and that is to take a good care of yourself. Please take care of yourself, all right? I'm going to love you and leave you for now until I see you next time. You take care.